in a heart-wrenching moment that left fans and competitors alike in shock. NASCAR driver Ricky Stenhouse Jr. departed from Daytona with tears in his eyes, his playoff aspirations shattered by a devastating crash. As he faced the media in the aftermath, the emotional weight of the situation was palpable in his voice. Although he didn't explicitly discuss the race's outcome at that moment, the tension in the air spoke volumes. With his chances of making the playoffs hanging by a thread, Stenhouse, who drives for Hyak Motorsports, took a moment to reflect on the arduous journey that had led to this pivotal night. Acutely aware that in the world of NASCAR, the line between victory and defeat can vanish in an instant. The turning point of Stenhouse's season, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. identified the Nashville race as a critical juncture in his season. I can definitely look at our performance graph and pinpoint Nashville as the turning point. After that race, it felt like we fell behind. Even when we had promising runs, we often ended up getting wrecked or struggled to find speed. For most of the season, we've been grappling with speed issues, and while we managed to capitalize on our strengths early on, that struggle eventually caught up with us at various tracks. Interestingly, our best performances came on road courses this year, which is somewhat unexpected. He shared with Matt Weaver, reminiscing about how the momentum slipped away from his team after Nashville. Stenhouse acknowledged that their car's lack of speed became increasingly evident, even as they managed to perform well on road courses. Unfortunately, misfortunes in traffic and late race incidents only highlighted their limitations. The road courses provided a few bright spots, where the team managed to earn stage points and run within the top 10, only to be caught up in accidents that derailed their efforts. A devastating conclusion at Daytona. At Daytona, these ongoing struggles culminated in a catastrophic outcome. In a desperate bid to keep his playoff hopes alive, Stenhouse found himself caught in a multi-car wreck during the final stage of the Coke Zero Sugar 400, which not only ended his race, but also extinguished his playoff dreams. I felt like we were consistently earning stage points and placing ourselves in the top 10 in many races, only to get wrecked late in those events. But we will keep pushing forward. I believe this race doesn't define our entire season. We still have 10 races left to compete. We will continue to learn and grow. As a single-car team, we are out here trying to absorb as much knowledge as we can each week, even if we aren't learning at the same rapid pace as the 4-car teams. But my crew is doing a commendable job, he added, maintaining a sense of hope despite the setback. The crash not only eliminated several contenders from the race, but carried a heavier burden for Stenhouse, who needed a victory to secure a spot in the postseason. Instead, he left the track with a DNF, did not finish, and a visible expression of frustration and emotion, fully aware of the harsh realities of superspeedway racing. This incident also highlighted the inherent challenges faced by his single-car operation in a sport dominated by larger teams. Stenhouse emphasized the relentless effort of his crew, but acknowledged that competing against powerhouse organizations like Hyak Motorsports and Joe Gibbs Racing underscores the resource disparity. Nevertheless, he refused to let the Daytona crash overshadow his entire season. As the Cup Series approaches its final 10 races, Stenhouse remains realistic about the challenges ahead, even as his playoff aspirations came to an abrupt end with his exit from Daytona. Hocevar's take on respect after Nashville incident. In the wake of the high-profile incident at Nashville that disrupted Ricky Stenhouse Jr.'s playoff ambitions, fellow driver Carson Hocevar shared his thoughts on their private conversation afterward. Speaking to NASCAR media, the Spire Motorsports driver emphasized that their discussion was constructive, noting that both he and Stenhouse are known for their aggressive racing styles. "We both have a reputation for being aggressive at times. At one point we reminded each other that despite those reputations, we have raced each other quite well in the past," Hocevar explained. Earlier in the season, Stenhouse had achieved 5 consecutive top 20 finishes, with 4 of those in the top 12, which propelled him to 13th in the Cup Series standings and comfortably within the playoff cut line. This early season surge offered a glimmer of hope, but the sudden DNF at Nashville, following contact with Carson Hocevar, dropped the number
47 Chevrolet to 18th in the standings, placing him outside the provisional playoff field. It's a clash of styles.
We've had no issues before, as he mentioned, and I believe we've maintained a decent relationship leading up to this point. I found our conversation productive, and based on his comments, it seemed to be received positively, he added. Despite the collision, Hocevar pointed out that their history on the track has been largely competitive without prior conflicts. He suggested that the Nashville crash was an unfortunate intersection of similar racing approaches, rather than a result of ongoing animosity. The two drivers took the opportunity to remind each other of the mutual respect they had previously shown in their racing endeavors, with Hocevar describing their dialogue as fair and received in the spirit it was intended.